Now we're ready for transaction I. On May 21st, the company received and paid a telephone bill for $400. So which two accounts are affected? Well, it's a telephone bill, so that's going to be telephone expense. And since we paid it, cash is involved also. So let's start with telephone expense. Which category does telephone expense belong to? Well, it has expense in its title, so therefore it's an expense. And is telephone expense increasing or decreasing when we get a telephone bill? It's increasing. So then we need to look at our expanded accounting equation, also called the accounting grid. And if the expense is increasing, is that a debit or a credit? That's a debit. And what was the other account we said is involved? Well, since we paid the telephone bill, cash is involved. And cash, of course, is an asset. And if that asset, or is that asset increasing or decreasing? Well, when we pay a bill, obviously your cash is going down. And then if an asset is decreasing, like cash in this case, is that a debit or a credit? It is a credit. So now we get to journalize this. So get out your journal paper, skip a line between journal entries. First thing we need to do is enter the date, May 21st. And then we list the debit account. Do you remember what the debit account was? That was telephone expense. And the amount was $400. We're going to increase or indent the credit account, and the credit account was cash. And then the credit was $400. And then you're going to have some sort of explanation of the transaction. Now, looking at this transaction explanation, do you see some critical missing information? In the real world, you would want to include the check number. You wouldn't want to just say paid telephone bill. You'd say paid telephone bill, check number 10,004 or something like that. So now that we've entered this transaction in the journal, we need to post it to the ledger. So get out your T accounts, which are our ledger. Here's our transaction. So we're going to post the debit first. Telephone expense is increasing $400. And then cash is decreasing by $400. And of course, the last thing we do, just double check. Do you have a debit and a credit? And are they the same amount? So it looks like we're good here.